The good news is that a third season of the Vikings spin-off series has already been shot, so if you binge-watched all the fights and betrayals from Season 2 of Vikings Valhalla, you won't have to wait long. The Netflix series, which is set more than a century after the events of Vikings, has followed the escalating hostilities between the Vikings and the English people as well as the conflicts between the warring factions of the traditional pagan Vikings and those who practiced Christianity. The first season of the show, which centers on the exploits of legendary Vikings Leif Erikson, Freydis Eriksdottir, and Harold Sigurdsson, began with the St. Brice's Day massacre in 1002, and it has the potential to go on until 1066, which is often regarded as the end of the Viking Age by historians. What will therefore occur to the warriors in the upcoming season? What to anticipate from Season 3 is as follows. Vikings Valhalla Season 3 release date on Netflix. When will it air? The first season of the Vikings prequel series premiered on Netflix in February 2022, and the second season followed on January 12th of the following year. The good news is that the actors and crew have already finished Season 3, so we shouldn't have to wait much longer than that. That would suggest we should expect the third season at the end of this year or in early 2024. The third season's star, Frida Gustafsson, who plays Freydis, recently stated in an interview with E! Online that filming is now over. "It's amazing, we've already shot it," she exclaims. "It's fantastic, and I'm so eager for everyone to see it. However, you will need to wait a little longer." Vikings Valhalla Season 3 cast. Who will be in it? Vikings Valhalla features more than its fair share of deaths and dismemberments, and Season 2 is no exception. It's safe to say that Johannes Hawker Johannesson, who played Olaf, Stanislav Kalas, who played Jorander, and Hayat Kamel, who played Miriam, won't be returning as their characters all died in the Season 2 finale. Of course, Sam Corlett, Frida Gustafsson, and Leo Suter will all return as our three favorite Viking warriors for Season 3. Bradley Freegard as King Canute, Laura Berlin as his wife Queen Emma, and David Oakes as the Cunning Godwin will also appear with them. Vikings Valhalla Season 3 plot. What's going to happen? Season 2's conclusion sent our heroes down quite divergent roads. In Jomsborg, one of the last surviving safe havens for the Viking people, Freydis, who has accepted her role as Keeper of the Faith, is in charge. She has reconciled with Eilchifu, the first wife of King Canute, but it is unclear if anybody else will confront Freydis or seek to remove her infant son from her now that it is known he is the son of Harold and the grandson of Eric the Red, as Olaf was planning to do before she killed him. Leif is understandably grieving after having Liv and Miriam die in his arms, but Miriam left him a key to her Constantinople home as she passed away, saying it contained items he would need for his next journey in life, so there is a chance he will find a reason to continue through her bequest. Leif Erikson eventually made his way back to Greenland before continuing on to North America. Therefore, in the television show, Miriam's home and possessions might be able to assist him pay for his subsequent expedition. After learning that Alina, with whom he exchanged a kiss and several deep glances, is on her way to an arranged marriage with the Emperor of Rome, Harold appears to be entering into a love triangle. She said she might still be available for illicit encounters, but we don't see that going well. What about Cunning Godwin, who recently wed Princess Jitha, Canute's niece? History tells us that Godwin will finally fulfill his ambition of fathering a child of royal blood, despite the fact that he is aware Queen Emma is keeping an eye on him and is aware of what a violent, backstabbing monster he can be. The real Godwin was the father of King Harold, who took over as King of England in January 1066 after Edward the Confessor abdicated. Sadly, his rule was short-lived because he was assassinated by William the Conqueror on October 14, 1066, during the Battle of Hastings, which was part of the Norman conquest. If Vikings Valhalla is renewed beyond the third season, it's feasible that King Harold's tale and the subsequent lives of Freydis, Leif, and Harold will all be featured on television. Showrunner Jeb Stewart acknowledged that he does have a big plan for the narrative, one that may extend far beyond Season 3. In an interview with Collider, he continues, "We've included bits of Leif Erikson's and Freydis' stories in the plot because we can, and I've always found it fascinating how Harold Sigurdsson transforms into Harald Hardrada. From a historical perspective, Harold's expulsion from Scandinavia caused these individuals to become fugitives. This really set the bar since we then had to establish the Viking heritage outside of Scandinavia. I therefore knew what Season 3 would entail. Because of the cultural shift, I understood where Season 3 would take place and that we would eventually travel to the New World. What does Freydis bring to the table to help us free these people, the last holdouts of the pagan faith? And how do we fill Leif's toolbox? And we are aware of the current events in Europe. So, for us, it's exciting. If the show were to go through Season 3, Jeb Stewart would undoubtedly have additional material. Because the story is, we could get to a 4, 5, and 6. It's practically a novel," he said to Collider. Let's hope. Vikings Valhalla Season 3 trailer. When can I watch it? The third season of Vikings Valhalla has not yet been released. Therefore, we wouldn't anticipate seeing a trailer for a while. The second season of the show just recently became available on Netflix. You will be able to see it on YouTube when it does come, of course. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.